Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Valpo Football Preview, along with head coach Dave Cecchini. This is Todd Ickow. We're brought to you by the South Shore Convention and Visitors Authority. And Dave, before we look ahead, we obviously a lot to look back at. Your first victory as Crusader head coach, and let's start by taking us into the locker room at halftime.
Okay.
Down 22-7. Really, pretty much everything that could go wrong in the first half did.
Right.
And then everything changed in the second half. What happened at halftime?
Well, we really had talked all week long about persistence and really going into the game, we knew that it may be a roller coaster type of a game. Just the style of play that William Jewell has in all three phases. They're very aggressive, and sometimes that makes for a less even game because the couple of breaks go their way. They make a couple take a couple of risks rather, and they paid off early, and we knew that might happen in these types of games. So we kind of had our players prepped for this game can turn around just as easily as it did before. And I know at halftime, John Snyder, one of our assistants, reminded them about last year's game, how Valpo was down by 3 scores in the second half and came back and almost pulled off a great comeback back then. So I don't think there was any doubt in our mind. We were frustrated, but we knew that if we got things turned around, that we had a chance to win the game, and unfortunately we were able to do that.
And you guys had not had a takeaway for the first 2.5
Right.
games.
Absolutely.
And then the game kind of swung with 3 takeaways in the second half,
Right.
all humongous takeaways as it turned out.
Yes, Devin Gadsden really sparked the team. Following our drive to put some points up on the board, we put 3 points up, and then Devin stepped in front of a pass and took it back to the house. And I think from that point on, there wasn't any doubt in anybody's mind that we could win that football game.
I think you spoke afterwards a lot about the play of John Guilford.
Yes.
And this was, I thought, maybe one of the best defensive halves of football by one player I've ever seen in a
Right.
Crusader uniform. Maybe the biggest problem in the first couple weeks is you really didn't get much from the defensive line.
Right.
And that completely changed in the second half,
Yeah.
and he led the way.
Yeah, absolutely. We were able to get pressure on their quarterback without blitzing, and anytime you can do that, it makes life a lot easier, and especially in terms of your coverage, keeping things in front of you. And we did a great job in the second half, and John deserves a lot of that credit. He played his tail off, and in about 88, 89 degree heat and humidity, and he made some great plays on special teams as well. He was a monster, and he came up huge for us time and time again.
All right, now we've got to look ahead. First conference game, it's Campbell, and you look at I'm sure you've looked at the tape on them, and maybe because their competition has been so difficult,
Right.
It's kind of hard to figure where they're at. But one thing for sure, it looks like they're improved from where they've been over the last couple of years, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, it's a very athletic team. Struggling a little bit on offense, but as you said, they've played 3 extremely talented opponents. When I addressed our team yesterday, we talked about it. I compared it to as if we would have played Western Illinois 3 weeks in a row. That's the caliber of teams that they've been playing. So they've had their struggles, but this is a very athletic team. Searching to get some consistency on offense, but defensively, you turn on the film and their front four very, very talented. They've got a transfer from Appalachian State. Defensive tackle. They've got a couple of outstanding athletic, big, tall defensive ends. They do a great job in the run game and the pass game, and it's going to be a challenge for us, no question about it.
I assume, though, they've struggled a bit offensively, that your defense is probably feeling a lot better coming into this game than they have after the first couple of games.
I think without question, I think we tackled. Certainly in that second half was our best half of tackling. We played with a lot of confidence, a lot of speed. And I think certainly anytime you can do that and get 3 takeaways on top of that, that really gives you a lot of momentum going into this week's game. And we're going to need to continue to do that. We're going to need to force some turnovers and make some plays on the defensive side of the ball if we're going to get a chance to win this one.
Well, certainly did it this past Saturday. And good luck against Campbell.
Thanks, Todd.
For head coach Dave Cecchini, this is Todd Ickow. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on Valpo Football Preview, brought to you by the South Shore Convention and Visitors Authority.